Trust is the force that propels an object in a given direction. If I could say one thing that could encourage you in your leadership walk, then I have accomplished something. This is Timothy Hartwell with Destiny Seminars. In the last few sessions, we've been talking about essential leadership skills in the new economy. As this economy continues to evolve, it's imperative that we adapt to new methods of leading teams to meet the growing demands of the marketplace. As I travel across the country, I've come to recognize that with the reshaping of today's economy, combined with the approaches of today's workforce, you have the ability to set yourself apart as an influential driver of momentum in your workplace. We said last session that the most common personality downfalls of leaders in their organizations includes distrust, and that destroys momentum. If you're going to maintain momentum in your business, drive forward thrust, and drive a noticeable shift in the atmosphere of your business, you'll want to implement these concepts immediately. You're going to know this is for you if there's any signs of fragmentation in your teams, or if you're looking for ways to design an atmosphere where your team players work more closely together. It is imperative that in the up-and-coming workforce we teach them about values. The lack of values is a huge problem in society today. But there are several elements required for instilling values that are conducive to building a culture of cooperation and forward movement. Part of that equation for instilling values to effectively deal with different personalities and generations is the ability to gain trust. When you give trust, you inject the ability to gain trust. And trust is necessary for dealing with different personalities and generations. Think about that for a while. Okay, so now you've thought about it, right? Equally important, if you're going to gain trust, you must follow through with what you say you're going to do. So that can lead us to a conversation about integrity, which we'll save for later. Keeping the main thing the main thing. It's important to build a track record of doing what you say you're going to do and responding appropriately to various situations that arise with your team. They count on you to make things happen. When there are trust issues, the atmosphere begins to suffer. I said last session that one of the barriers to forward thrust is an unclear conveyance of vision. Part of building trust is to share your vision and direction. Presenting this clarity enables your staff to see the big picture and gives the sense that you're not hiding anything. I teach that it's important to coach your staff toward your vision because the dictatorial style of leadership just doesn't work that well anymore. Another point along those lines is that you don't want to be doing everything for your team, but want instead to teach them to discover things for themselves and work together more cohesively. But let's say that you learn how to coach your staff well and enable them to think independently while working together. But suddenly, you notice that your team seems to become dysfunctional or fragmented. Now what do? Does that mean that somehow you have failed? Not necessarily. Let me restate our principle about designing momentum. I try, I fail, I gain insight. I try, I fail, I gain momentum. I try, I succeed, now I'm designing my momentum with insight. To design your momentum is a choice. One of the elements of designing momentum principle is to design the atmosphere, and part of managing people is recognizing when a team enters a new cycle. If I set up an expectation in the atmosphere of striving for excellence, then most likely that atmosphere will flourish. So I need to recognize what phase the team is in now. There are several reasons why teams become fragmented. Did they just have a big success? Are they still stuck in the moment of being the best and not creating the next forward momentum? See, that's one of the problems right there. I've seen this time and time again in many worlds, including healthcare, IT, and manufacturing. Part of this symptom can be that they feel so confident that they don't recognize they still need coaching and training. You will need to continue to provide opportunities for both. Sometimes teams get tunnel vision. Like the horse that has blinders on, they can only see within a narrow realm of what lies ahead. To properly design the momentum in this instance, you'll need to give them more insight and expand their vision to a broader picture. When doing so, keep in mind that you'll want to convey the message in a way that multi-generations and personalities understand and catch the momentum of the vision. That may not necessarily be the way that you're used to communicating. Remember, the workforce of today thinks and behaves differently than that of former generations. There is much more I could teach you and your managerial staff about this topic, but we simply just don't have the time to learn all of this in the short amount of time that we have together. These concepts are important because each one of them helps to build momentum in your business. In the next session, we'll talk a little bit about change in perception and how to drive past those issues to design more momentum from insight. If you will commit to implementing these simple yet powerful ideas, you'll be on your way to building a cohesive team that will help you champion your ideas. I want you to write this down. When I'm not moving forward, I'm falling behind. I'm going to say that again. When I'm not moving forward, I'm falling behind. Also, I will commit to learning new ways to drive momentum forward with insight in my atmosphere. You can make a huge difference in your organization, but you've got to take action and implement these concepts in order for them to work. My goal with these videos is to always provide you with high value and high content to enable you to become more effective as a leader and a mentor. If you like what you saw in this video, be sure to like us and comment on Facebook with the button to the top right. And if you're not already on our subscriber list, be sure to give us your name and email, and we'll make sure that you don't miss out on any issues. If you feel like we should be working together because you like the content here, want to bring a larger discussion for team leads, supervisors, managers, or leaders in your organization about topics like integrity, conflict, generations, or emotional intelligence. Or perhaps you're considering hiring a coach or mentor. Just simply go to destiny-seminars.com, book Timothy. Fill out the short form and we'll work together to design a strategy to gain forward momentum toward achieving your goals. I hope this was helpful and I hope we continue to stay connected.